All right, next up, guys, let's take a look at Illinois versus Iowa State. Both these teams won their conference championship tournaments. Illinois coming off a big win over Duquesne today. Pretty dominant performance, but at the same time, Duquesne kind of ran out of gas. It looked like, remember, they wouldn't have been in the tournament at all if they hadn't won their tournament, but they did. They made it. They beat BYU in the first round, and Illinois dominated them today. As for Iowa State, kind of struggled a little bit at first with Washington State. Looked like Washington State might actually win this one. In the first half, Washington State kind of had Iowa State down a little bit, but ended up tying it up at halftime and then running away with it in the second half. But this is going to be a really good matchup here. I think two really good teams. All right, Illinois coming in as the 3 seed at 28-8, Iowa State as the 2 seed at 29-7. Illinois led by Coleman Hawkins, Terrence Shannon. Iowa State led by Gilbert. Let's look at Illinois' schedule a little bit, focus on the tournament teams only. You've got a non-conference loss to Marquette, non-conference loss to Tennessee, win over FAU. You've got a loss to Purdue, a win against Northwestern, and then another loss to Purdue. So they have not beaten Purdue, but they have beaten Northwestern, which actually is playing tomorrow as I'm making this video. They might have played by the time you watch it, but at the moment they're still supposed to play Uconn. Then looking at Iowa State, all right, looking at tournament teams, let's see, they have a loss to Texas A&M. You've got a win over Houston, all right, and they've got another one of those that I'll get to in a little bit. But to start off conference play, a win over Houston, lost to BYU, win over TCU, win over Kansas, lost to Baylor, win over Texas, split with Houston, win over Texas Tech, and then ultimately end up beating Baylor and Houston really dominantly in the Big 12 tournament. So I think it's going to be a pretty good matchup here. Illinois, I think, has the more upside out of these two teams, but Iowa State is really consistent in what they do. Really good defensively, going to get up in you and make you work. But I think at the moment, Illinois is just hitting on too many cylinders and have a higher upside than Iowa State. When I've watched Illinois play, I think this is the Final Four team. I think this team can beat Uconn. In particular, Shannon and Hawkins can really go. And then you got Dumask that can really go as well as a third option. I think Illinois can play with anybody in the country. I think they can win the national championship. And I think they're going to be a little too much for Iowa State. I think it's going to be close for the most part, but I think by the end, Iowa State's not going to be able to keep up with them by the second half offensively. I think Illinois wins this game by double digits in the end. So who do you think wins this game and why? Let me know down in the comment section. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.